The words Ethiopia and Kush were used always to describe a black people or the country where such a people lived. Right? It doesn't matter how much proof you show some people, how much evidence. Now, I'm showing you this because people way before now are saying this, right? So I left the source for that. History of the Negro race in America from 1619 to 1880. This is what people have been saying. So when they look at your skin color and they consider you black, not Indian, there's a clear, not Arab, there was a clear conciseness of who was black, who was Arab, who was Indian, who was black before they started using the term. Moor was nowhere around. They called you Ethiopian. Yeah, his barber was here. He said, I do this myself. He said, I do this myself, beloved. Josephus, the Jewish historian who worked for the Romans. Don't get me started on him. That's another topic, which I don't mind covering at some point. But he even gets involved. In his Antiquities of the Jews, Josephus corroborates the association between the Ethiopians and the Cushites. He says, for of the 4 sons of Ham, time has not at all hurt the name of Cush. For the Ethiopians over whom he reigned are even at this day by themselves and by all men in Asia called Cushites. Can't be thrown off. I can't be thrown off. When I say I watched everybody, I watch and I watch the deflection. I told you this at the beginning of the video. I watched deflection. Semantics, beloved. I don't get involved. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. There was native people in North America. There was native people in South America. Is you Ethiopians running around saying that was y'all? Yes or no? If you say yes, just put yes. Don't ask me nothing about nothing. Are you was you of these people's tribes and the Caribbeans? Now, some of y'all was. Some of y'all wasn't though. So then that means, okay, that brings on another conversation. Salazine, how do I even start that process? That's a legitimate, logical question, rather than just saying that you are Indian. Right? You're not about to take no DNA test because all type of conspiracies done got involved. If you have a good, mine was a little bit harder because I was adopted, right? But your family may actually have a family tree. So it may be a little bit easier for you. By the way, I do have Seminole in me too. Part of this, my grandfather. But from what I know of the Seminole Indian, that is a hybrid of Native American and what did you call it? African. Every time I asked about, I don't know much about the Seminole Indian. They tell me that it was a African tribe of Native Americans here, something along those lines. But me showing you these 4 slides right here was to give you an idea that who the Ethiopians were and was not. All right, let's get into this. You can't see this because what I did was I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot and I put it, and when I expanded it, it made it blurry. So you probably could read some of it, but if you can, I'm going to help you out. I wrote which book it came from. I wrote the page, right? Now here to play. So it says, he confirmed that Don Juan is the king of Portugal, had told Columbus the previous year when Columbus returned to the Spanish court in 1496, he found everywhere a spirited discussion of the continental lands said to lie to the south of the lands he had discovered, in which the king of Portugal seemed to think lay within his own domain. Jamie Ferrer, a jeweler and trader in previous stones, also a distinguished geographer who had done extensive traveling in Africa and had been called in by the Spanish sovereigns to head the commission fixing the Tordesillas line, wrote letters to Isabella, who commanded him to get in touch with Columbus and tell him all he had heard about this new continent. Ferrer said he had picked up his knowledge from Ethiopians and Arabs. So from that point right there, we know there is a difference between Ethiopians and Arabs. These people are not considered the same as people are assuming. We're just thinking that all black people are Moors, and no, there was a difference. There was a difference between Ethiopians, Africans, and Arabs. There's a difference. Or at least there was a difference when these people wrote this. Now, Peter Martyr was an Italian historian at the service of Spain during the ages of exploration, 1457 to 1526. I don't know why I wrote Negros Discovered, but that's what I wrote. Give me 1 second. Let me straighten this out. Because on my screen, I have a very big screen. It's cutting it off. It's cutting it off. Okay. That's better. All right, that's better. Here we go. Inspired by this discovery of the Southern Sea, Balboa and his men decided to push farther south along. Now, at this point, what I did was I didn't take a snapshot of this because it was making it blurry, and I wanted everyone to read it. So I took it from the book and I wrote the source underneath his picture. Okay, let's go. Inspired by this discovery of the Southern Sea, Balboa and his men decided to push farther south along the isthmus under the shadow of Caraquay. They came upon an Indian settlement where, to their astonishment, they found a number of war captives who were plainly and unmistakably African. So right there, There's a difference between who they're calling Indian and who they're calling African. They're not putting them together. They're not even remotely saying like they look like these are the same people. These were tall black men of military bearing who were waging war with the natives from some settlement in the neighborhood. Balboa asked the Indians whence they got them, but they could not tell, nor did they know more than this, that men of this color were living nearby and they were constantly waging war with them. These were the first Negroes that had been seen in the Indies. Now, this is according to Balboa, right? But what I did, I was not there, beloved. I'm bringing you sources. I'm not coming to you with emotions. I'm coming to you with things that I've looked up. I'm not coming to you with just picking something out of the clear blue sky because I don't want to lose a debate. Peter Martyr, the first historian of America, reports on his remarkable meeting between the Spanish explorers and the blacks of Darien. The Spaniards, wrote Martyr, found Negroes in this province. They only live one day's march from Caraque. I think that's Panama. I could look it up. And they are fierce. And it is thought that Negro pirates from Ethiopia established themselves after the wreck of their ships in these mountains. The natives of Caraque carry on incessant war with these Negroes, massacre, or the slavery in the alternate fortune of these peoples. Again, I left the source right there. Yeah, that is Panama. Right? So we talk about Panama. So, to answer your last question, Ms. Compa, Marta uses the word Ethiopia as a general term for Africa. This is what I have said in the past. But when I do not say it with a scholar behind me or someone that is published or something, then people leave me comments like I'm freestyling. At one point, they called, if you was from Africa, they called you Ethiopian. This is why I got upset with Noble Drew Ali. Because now you're changing the narrative to fit an organization that you want to push so that we can get some type of benefit from the loophole. So now you're going to run around and you're going to tell everybody we was Moors. So that we could, the white man in this country is never giving you the upper hand to take advantage of that loophole. That loophole is not for you, beloved. It's not going to work. Y'all can keep trying it. It's not going to work. So I told you about the current that goes from Africa to the New World. Using my logic and reason, right? These people, maybe they've been coming over here as the readings say, as the evidence suggests that they've been coming over here trading and right. But if we're going to just find evidence, people are going to multiple authors, and then every time somebody says something, you just say, "Oh yeah," but I go find me another author who's saying different. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying you ain't right. What I'm saying is go find me another author. But nobody is doing that. Right? Because this man then went and found, they got other historians on record saying that they already knew that Africans was going to the New World, that part of the world you talk about. Africans been going over there and coming back with different things. So let's see it with Ivan Versotima says. Marta uses the word Ethiopia as a general term for Africa. He is not suggesting a specific country in Africa as the origin of these mysterious Africans cited by the Spanish. He could not conjecture on their exact origin of country of origin or tribal identity, but he certainly knew from this his own acquaintance with Africa as a diplomat to Egypt from the Spanish court that there was nothing far-fetched about African boats being washed up as wrecks on the other side of the ocean coast. His comment also makes it clear that the African settlement was large enough to enable its members to wage wars of aggression or defense within the hostile environments in which they found themselves. Paragraph, this page 24, paragraph 2, they came before Columbus. Here's another one. On this third voyage, he came upon more evidence of contact between Guinea and the New World from a settlement along the South American coast on which his men landed on Tuesday, August 7th. The natives brought handkerchiefs of cotton very symmetrically woven and worked in colors like those brought from Guinea, from the rivers of Sierra Leone, and of no difference. Not only were they alike in style and color, but also in function. These handkerchiefs, he said, resembled almazers, Guinea headdresses, and loin cloths. Each one is a cloth so woven in colors that it appeared in almazer, with one tied on the head and the other covering the rest. Page 16. The slave community, plantation life of the antebellum. I've got a feeling I'm changing topics here, but I'm going to read it anyway and what it says. Regardless of his previous culture, upon landing in the New World, the African-born slave had to learn the language of his master. Taught by overseers or native-born slaves, the African acquired a few European words in a relatively casual or haphazard fashion. He began by recognizing his own name and that of his master in his adopted language. While they generally had to learn their master's language in order to understand his commands and to communicate with other slaves, many Africans refused to accept a new name. For instance, a Georgia newspaper described 2 recaptured fugitive slaves in these terms. Now, that is a good book so far. I'm still reading it. But it's called The Slave Community, Plantation Life in the Antebellum South. And this topic was slave names. That was page 24. So again, rather than, I'm not going to even take anybody serious. That's why I just was like, I can't really deal with Top Cats right now if he's just going to ask these type of questions, right? Because when you start losing the debate, then you start asking for irrational things, right? When there's so much other evidence we could kind of focus on, but then you just go for things that you kind of know that, all right, where's this though? If I had this. But this is what I would ask those people that's asking for these things. Did they really look for those things? But I will, right? But did they? But we're not done. All right. The reason I said 12.5 is because Dr. Paul E. Lovejoy of African History and African Diaspora History he had presented some work, and I got this from his presented work right here. Let me take me down. So you can see what's going on there. Peace, Majestic Allah. Dang, you like 4-5 hours late, bro. I'm sure you would have gave me some pushback as well. But you could watch the Now, here's what I'm saying, right? If I am incorrect on some things, I will admit that. Now, me and Majestic Allah had disagreements on some of the pioneers in graffiti, right? I said it was Taki 183. He said it was cornbread. But I'm not going to lie. Due to people tracking down resources, right? Not just talking, because I wasn't going to hear anybody. More people have come back to me with resources and said it appears to be cornbread as the first person to be documented as graffiti. So then I have to, at that point, give in and say, okay, you have more evidence than I could produce. You have more evidence than I could produce. So at the end of the day, cornbread wins. It's going down with cornbread and not Taki 183. So that's all I'm saying here. I got more evidence. Until y'all come and say something and bring me anything, or just tell me a date when y'all want to do it, and then you could bring up your evidence and we could just do a whole nother show. All right, now I can see that the show is about to end. I'm going to go into some other things and then I'm going to end it. Racialized slavery codes and laws and frameworks developed in colonial America. Let's see here. I said legal definitions of slavery. As the institution of slavery evolved in the American colonies, lawmakers began to enact laws that explicitly define slavery in racial terms. These laws made a person's status as enslaved or free dependent on their race, particularly African ancestry. And I think I put this in there again for some of the people that was kind of claiming that. It's amazing that I would even have to do that. But there are some people that was running around acting like it's like, nah, slavery wasn't here. And I think it's because people, all right, if you say that we was already here and that we're the Indians, when you just leave it like that, a lot of younger people are impressionable, right? So, and if you're not going to go into detail, then they're going to take it from somebody that they're impressed by, and they're going to say, yeah, that's what, and they're going to run down the block with that. Thank you, beloved. Appreciate you. Majestic Allah just coming in the building, donating to the Cash App. I appreciate you, beloved. It is very important that you do your family tree. Like you got to do your family research if it's possible. If it's possible, you can research and do your family tree, right? Now I want to show you guys something before we go. And actually, I started here, right? And I told you I had to look this up because this was kind of this over here was very misleading. It had an excerpt from President Lincoln, and it made it seem like he was the biggest racist in the world, but it didn't take the parts. It's kind of like what they did to Trump when they just said that some of these people are nice people, and it was like, well, damn, he's supporting the white nationalists, and it's like he had denounced them like freaking 2 seconds right before he said that. Right, he denounced them. He was like, "Y'all take no part in this, like any white nationalists," and he said all of that stuff. And what they did, I understood what he was saying. He was saying everybody out here white is not with these people. So he was saying some of these people, that's all they cut. And I was like, yo, damn, that's crazy. They took it like that. But here's the same thing that happened. It's no different from what they did with Abraham Lincoln right here. I am not, nor ever have been in favor of making black people voters or jurors or politicians or marriage partners. It says there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. And in as much as they cannot live, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior versus inferior. And I, like any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race. He did say that. But then he goes on to say after that he doesn't believe that these people should be treated inhumanely. And he goes on to say some other things. So just be careful when you read things. I mean, I'm saying it. That don't mean you're going to do it or any younger person going to do it, because it's not that people lie a lot of times. They're just omitting everything, and then it kind of pushes people a certain way. So I want to read some more things here. The Act of 1664, an act concerning Negroes and other slaves, Maryland, be it enacted by the right honorable the Lord Propriety by the advice and consent of the upper and lower house of this present General Assembly, that all Negroes, other slaves already within the province, and all Negroes and other slaves to be hereafter imported into the province shall serve hard labor for life. That's crazy talk. That is 1664. That's crazy, bro. Let's blow this up a little bit so I can help, so you guys can read along. All right. And all children born of any Negro or other slave shall be slaves as their fathers were, for the term of their lives. Damn. And far as much as diverse freeborn English women, forgetful of their free condition, to the disgrace of our nation, marry Negro slaves, by which also diverse suits may arise touching the issue of such women, and great damage befalls the master of such Negroes for prevention, whereof for deterring such freeborn women from such shameful matches. So apparently some of these women was into Negroes. They wanted to get down for the get down, and they wasn't having it in Maryland. They said, nah, everybody's going to be punished. The slave's master, the slave, and the white woman. Be it further enacted by the authority, advice, and consent afford, that whatsoever freeborn woman shall marry any slave from and after the last day of this present assembly shall serve the master of such slave during the life. So now they saying that she is going to be a slave to the master of the slave that she was getting down with. So that will deter you, right? Like, how good is how worth it is you? God forbid he's a minute man. God forbid he's a minute man, and now you have a lifetime of servitude. Jesus Christ. And that all the issue of such freeborn women so married shall be slaves as their fathers were. What? And be it further enacted that all the issues, children of English or other freeborn women that have already married Negroes shall serve the masters of their parents till they be 30 years of age and no longer. That's crazy talk. But for everyone running around, not knowing that there was really slavery existed and you thinking that you was part of the Indian community here? No, you were not part of the Indian community. Yes, Indians were taken into slavery and they were here. Yes, yes, Africans were imported. And sometimes they were imported to the New World, which meant it could have been the Caribbean, it could have been South America. But sometimes you was moved around. Sometimes you was moved around. So it's easy that you could have been in Jamaica and then you could have been ported to freaking South Carolina. You could have been South Carolina. You could have been ported somewhere else. You could have been ported back to Africa. You could have been ported back. You could have been ported to Europe. They've had these situations. It doesn't mean that your life of servitude was over. But I've read these situations where people were free people in Africa, ended up in the States as a slave, worked, ended up back in on another continent in Europe, and then ended up back in Africa. Whole time, servitude. That's their job, servitude, the whole time. Now, this one is really crazy. This one made killing blacks legal. It normalized it, the cultural and moral in the white mind. 1669, Casual Killing Act. Couldn't believe it. Had to look it up. Said, what? Now, this is not my slide. This is not my slide. Whereas the only law in force for the punishment of refractory servants resisting their master, mistress, what? Or overseer cannot be inflicted upon Negroes, nor the obstinacy of many of them be suppressed by other violent means, be it enacted and declared by this grand assembly. If any slave resists his master, or other by his master's order correcting him, and by extremity of the correction should chance to die, that his death shall not be accounted a felony. So, okay. So, if anybody correcting their slave and the slave die, his death should not be accounted a felony. That you're not going to be, it won't be a felony. But the master or that other person appointed by the master to punish him be acquainted from the molestation, since it cannot be presumed that premeditated malice should induce any man to destroy his own estate. So basically, it's okay to kill him. You're not going to be, no harm will come to you. Now that was 1609, right? And apparently it was amended. That same act was amended in 1682. And here we go. And if any slave resists his master or owner or other person by his or her order, correcting such slave, and shall happen to be killed in such correction, it shall not be accounted a felony, but the master, owner, and every such other person so given correction shall be free and acquit of all punishment and accusation for the same, as if such accident had never happened. Well, goddamn. And also, if any Negro, mulatto, or Indian, these are three different terms, they made special separation. So, as I am nearing the end of this, I think there is a clear distinction that the Negro and the Indian are not the same. It is not for you to be confused today that the Negro was the same as the Indian, or was the Negro the same as an Arab. It is not for you to be confused that. I think I've given you that much evidence today. Bond or free shall at any time lift his head or her hand in opposition against any Christian, not being Negro, mulatto, or Indian. There they say it again. They make sure, because it's legal, that they differentiate who they are talking about. He or she so offending shall, for every such offense, prove by the oath of the party, receive on his or back 30 lashes. Jesus Christ. Well laid on. Well laid on. Well laid on is crazy. That didn't even happen. 30 lashes was good. Well laid on? You don't have any proof, Copper. That's why you lost today. The Negro is Ethiopian. I've proven that. You did not prove to me anywhere. You just keep repeating to me that the Negro is an Indian. And I might listen to you. I might listen to you. But as far as today, the Negro is an Ethiopian. And he is a Nubian for reasons that I have put forth. But you say you don't debate anymore. So therefore, you're just making comments. Negro is not a. This is why the kids are confused nowadays. Because y'all calling Indians Negroes. And y'all making it. This is why they're confused. So maybe you have a understanding that needs to be articulated and elaborated. But when people like Kanye West say, and we not black, right? And I get that people may not want to be referred to as black. Do not refer to me as a color. Some people say, I'm not a color. I understand that. You want to be regarded as a nation. I get it. But I can tell you, everyone else, in this time era, in the time before, going back to different timelines that I have proven today. I have proven this to you people today that are listening and watching, and even on the replay, that throughout history, going back to the early Greeks, they have regarded I don't want to freestyle here. Looking for the right word, right? Not only Africans, not only people of a certain hue, or people from a certain part of Africa, but at one point, the whole entire Africa as Ethiopian. They regarded them as Ethiopians. So I don't care how many times anybody write or tell me or say it that Africans and Indians are the same. They're not the same. Africans are not Indians. They're Africans. Now, I did tell you guys there was a second part of that conversation, which we have to talk about because that involves bringing up Atlantis. it's not even going to fit in this. it's not. It's not going to fit in this. So I really don't want to bring it up. I got to talk about the classic cataclysmic events. It's not. I'm already on 5 hours, man. You know what that's going to do? It's going to take us somewhere else, beloved. I'm not doing that right now. Negro Act of 1740. The Comprehensive Negro Act of 1740, passed in South Carolina, made it illegal for slaves to move abroad, assemble in groups, raise food, earn money, and learn to write English. Out of curiosity, why didn't they name this the Negro Indian? Just out of curiosity, if they went through so much trouble to differentiate all these other times, why didn't they say the Negro Indian Act? They do it all the time when they want to do an Indian treaty or something like that. If they specify, they've been specifying this whole time I'm up here. Why didn't why did they say the Negro Act of 1740? Specifically, I don't want Negroes to congregate in groups. I don't want Negroes to raise food. God damn, they said they don't want Negroes to earn money. That's crazy talk. Woof. Woof. Now, if they were talking about Indians or North Americans, I think this is my now I'm freestyling a little bit. I think we would have been included on some of those deals where they have with the reservations and the hotels and the casinos and all. I think we would have been included in a lot of that. I think we tried to include ourselves on a lot of these things because we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. So that's what we do. So many of us make a big old loud noise, right? And then we say, look, oh, no, we are Indians, beloved. No, we are Moors. And we're trying to take advantage of loopholes that really don't pertain to us. So my thing is, why am I waste a whole bunch of time trying to get in on this loophole over here when I could really rightfully and divide and teach my people? Because my people perish for lack of knowledge, right? So there is a good chance I mean, that's not a good chance. That's cap. That's blue cap. That's blue cap. There is a good chance. There is a chance I could be incorrect, but until somebody show me otherwise, I'm right. A legalization of, so not only a legalization of money, but also of education. Now, this is the sad part. Anti-literacy laws. All southern states except Maryland and Kentucky outlawed teaching blacks to read or write. Example, Governor Gilmore signed an act forbidding the teaching of slaves or freed blacks or write. This one was crazy too. Fugitive Act, 1850, federal law. Required citizens to catch runaway slaves, right? Those who did not comply were fined or put in jail for up to 6 months. So if you did not help find a slave, judges received $10 if they returned slaves and $5 if they freed them. Forced Northerners to become part of the slavery system. If a white person claimed a free black person was a slave, they were captured and forced into slavery. Huh. That's crazy talk. $5 hours, beloved. I knew it was going to be long. Did I know 5 hours long? I probably didn't know 5 hours long. And I'm going to keep it honest with you. I'm not even going to bring in the rest of the stuff that I'm not even done. Right? I'm not even done. But I think at this point, we're going to end it. Hold on one second. There is something else I want to give you. I'm just looking for it. Oh, it's right here. All right. I'm going to give this to you, and y'all can play with it into... because I'm about to end it. But this is a database. It says slavevoyages.org. So I'm pretty sure Copper already knows about it, right? But for you other people who may wanted some of the records, I think they got what, 90,000 records just right here. Of some of what appears to be some of the people that were, let's see here. Name, Bora, modern name, Bora, language, Arabic, Islamic, 30 years old, male. Which ship they was on, the embarkment, the disembarkment, the arrival, right? So when we're asking for things, I mean, people have a hard time finding things now. We're asking for things that was like centuries ago, right? They asked JP Morgan just a few years ago for some documents. JP Morgan said, "Oh, we made a mistake and shredded them by mistake. We'll pay the fine, $4 million." What? So, my thing is, I get it. Go to slavesvoyages.org. I can't say I give you all the. Now I don't go live every Sunday, but I will go live for you whenever. I will go live because I feel like people need, again, debates can be healthy because you may bring back something that I've never seen, right? You're not just saying it, you're going to bring, and you may need time for that. So you say, okay, let me go put this together. And this is at your own term. And then you come up and then you show me. At that point, as a reasonable person, I have to look at your evidence and I have to consider it. If I'm not, I'm being stubborn. And that is not, there's no. Then what I could do is I could take your evidence that you give to me now and see if if it builds or adds with what I got going on or what I'm trying to prove. Again, people, this database here, I'm not going to sit here and act like I am a pro at this database. I'm not. I'm still really trying to, but it's not as comprehensive as we would want it to be. That's the other thing, right? So don't go over here and it's like, yo, this don't got all the information. Yo, it's hard to track down. You got teams working just to get this information that we got. And from right there, it looked like 90,000 entries. So I'm not even sure. And they only at the 1800s. Let's see what happens if I go push 4. That 18, and there's 6,000 records here, right? So they have 1819 right now. So we would be here for a long time until I really figure out how to. Jesus, we would be at a long time. They only at ID 166. But if you guys want to sit around and play with it, it's called slavevoyages.org. And I do believe it was put together by some of the scholars that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And that being said, the Cash App is below. I thank everybody that really did give towards, the movement and what we're doing over here. Thanks again to the team. I'm sure a lot of them had to leave. I mean, it's a 5-hour live, beloved. I didn't even think this would reduce down to a 5-hour live, but it was a necessary conversation after I heard Kanye West say what he said. But I cannot get back up here and just do rhetoric. So I had to take the time out to go gather the information and bring it back and present it comprehensively. And that's what I've done. This is not even, there's more conversations to be had. This conversation can keep going, but as you can see, we on 5 hours right now. Could I go into why I believe the items that they found in North America are legit and just not make it? I can go. I mean, to sum it up real briefly, if scientists are saying that there was a cataclysmic event that moved around the crust of the earth and moved around different continents, if this is what we are taught by our scientists, right, of different nationalities are saying this, different cultures, if they are agreeing on these things, say, yeah, that we all agree. We don't agree on much, but the white, the black, the Asian, Indian, we all agree on that. And they say it's going to happen again. Well, I think that is a conversation, and that's one of the reasons that we might be finding ancient artifacts over there, right? That's just one. But then that's, like I said, that's a long conversation right there, and we already at 5 hours. Thank you, Trisha, for still being here. Check it out, TV for still being here. So it's a lot of conversation. So I've been dropping books in the Discord, right? So if you want a lot of these articles and you just want to get them, just go to the Discord, and I'm going to be dropping them, a lot of this stuff right in there, right? And that's a great place. Even for you, Copper, please join our Discord, because you could be dropping evidence over there, and it's just a discussion. And this way, we can just all pick up what you're saying. That's the Discord right there. Splashing has dropped the Discord link. Please join our Discord, right? Because we want to hear from you people too. Now, shout out to all the bays. Does anybody want me to drop the link first? I mean, I could just drop it. I want to stay away from trolls though. Does anybody want me to drop the link? I know Copper doesn't, right? I think she's going to take time, and we're going to build though. I'm interested in what she has to say. It's just that when I'm presenting, I got to kind of stay focused. Does anybody want me to drop the link before I end the show? All right. If nobody wants me to drop the link, shout out to the base. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, Splashing. This is why I don't want to drop the link. They be quiet, bro. They be in the bushes, bro. And then as soon as you drop the link, they come out of nowhere like, yo, bro, we've been at the whole show. Like, they be in the bushes. Not in the mood. Nah, you don't want that, Copper. You don't want, trust me. She pops out of nowhere. She's like a ghost. She comes, she's like, oh, And this is another thing, Saladin. And then she just leaves. And I'm just like, yo, what happened? She told me she wished she was trying to get in contact with Sonny Blanco. Not Sonny Blanco. What's my man's name? Not Sonny Blanco. Frankie Blanco. She wanted to get in contact with Frankie Blanco. I think she wanted to put him in a cult or something like that. She said, I wish I had his information. Why are you trying to get in contact with Frankie Blanco, bro? She's over here trying to gouge our members. It's crazy. She's paying attention. She's definitely coming for Copper. Now that she knows that Copper has a different ideology, oh, she's gonna be on your heels. Look for a DM. No, this is what she does. She leaves random comments. Right? She's so nifty with it. She may go over the Bullets Gottis and at you on that. And then just leave you a wild message like, yo, she's gonna find you. She's gonna find you. He's full of shit. I'm telling you right now. I've caught him multiple times. She's making me a better person, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm not going out on a Me Too movement, right? I'm scared to death for this lady. You understand? So any assistants, any females working with me, I don't know if the Spanish lady, I'm talking, wallahi, I don't know if the Spanish lady sent you, right? So that's always going to be in the top of my head. Even when I'm well successful in this, right? They're going to hire somebody. I'm always going to be thinking, did the Spanish lady send you? You're going to be like, why are you acting awkward, Sally? I didn't know you was this awkward. Yo, I got my reasons. You speak Spanish? Do you speak Spanish? I know a little Spanish, and that's why. If I ask for coffee, you could pass the coffee to Splashing, and Splashing will bring my coffee. I'm good. Splashing he's too busy. He's never too busy. He's never too busy to interact between me and you. You understand? I'm not going out on a Me Too movement because this woman would never leave me alone. It's not happening. She's lurking, bro. She's lurking. I'm telling you, she's on my heels. She's made me a better person. I think you would do. Here's the thing, Copper. I think I already asked you, Copper. I asked you to do this. I'm pretty sure I did, Copper. You don't have to. Okay. So what I wanted to create was kind of like the House of Consciousness with what's the name did over there. All of them don't agree, right? But that's what kind of make the show a lot of times where it forces a lot of them to become better scholars because they don't agree. But as we just seen Dr. Jabari take an L, I didn't see it yet, but I've heard Dr. Jabari took an L. I'm going to go check it out. And it sounds like his scholarly just wasn't up to. He probably walked in there like, yo, I'm going to beat this white boy's pants. And the white boy whipped him around the ring, allegedly. You understand? So I've seen the best. I've seen it happen to the best over there. And a lot of them is trash. Bubba Dub voice. Trash, my nigga. A lot of them, I be watching them. Their name is hyped up for no reason. I be watching them. See Son's angle. Trash. I seen Phoenix Moon whip somebody's ass over there. That's how I found Phoenix Moon. And I reached out to her. Phoenix Moon was over there whipping on some clowns that came. She was whipping on some clowns. But I ain't gonna lie, yo, this is what I will give y'all. This is what I will give y'all. If I had a debate against, this is what I'm gonna say. If I had a debate against Phoenix, Moon, or Copper, I wouldn't take that debate lightly. I wouldn't be dicking off all week, eating yogurts, not working. Like, what? What? Neither one of them is I'm just gonna be dicking off all week and then the night before, like, oh, let me just flip through something real quick and let me look. What? Not either one of them. I wouldn't. Nah. You're taking an L, beloved. You're taking an L, beloved. I don't care what you're talking about. You're taking an L. But let's talk, Copper. We could do this, Cop. I give you the whole show. You understand? I won't even interject. Won't even interject. Right? So we got our operations manager over here, Trisha. I think she just left. She put up the signs that let me know she was leaving. Right? She would probably reach out to you. We got Splashing. He's our content manager, so he's probably gonna share the link. You know, he'll set everything up in the back. Yeah, you get busy. I don't have to be around. You understand? Obviously, I would watch because I would love to hear what you're talking about, but I don't have to come on the show. Like, you can start the show, talk to Splashing. Yo, what time is the show? Show is at 7. Here's the link. You pull up. You don't even have to show your face on the StreamYard. You can keep it just like this. You got your mic. You can present your documents. You talk. You present. Right? And it don't have to align with what I said tonight. That's, you can say whatever. That's you. Because who knows what we're going to learn from that? I'm obviously going to learn something. This is a small portion of information that I presented tonight. There's no way in the world I don't watch your show and be like, oh, snap. Okay, she got me thinking that. There's just no way in the world. Right? Because there's something that's going to be different. There's something I'm going to learn. That's always. So I would love that. I would love that if you know what I'm saying? Think about that. Okay, bet. I think I asked Copper. It got to be going on 2 years now. I asked Copper, yo, come build, right? So now we got something different. We got a whole network going, Copper. We got our own network. It's called Beyond You Media. Let me just bring it up real quick. Just to show you what's going on real quick. I don't know where I got a Geechee accent from out of nowhere, but that's crazy. That's nuts. I don't know why I just got a Geechee accent. Ancestors is out here. So we got our own network. Copper. And we got some things happening in the background. Just to show you. I'm not sure because I haven't seen you in a while. So we got different programs. I got mad tabs open. This weak ass internet. It's not the platform. I can show you. It's on my side. So if you go to beyondyou.tv and you hit browse, then you will see the platforms. So my whole point is we expanding till that comes up. We expanding to different territories and building. We're really building something over here. Oh, okay, she's on it already. Good. And a lot of Yo, Splashy said that's sovereign internet. That's a fact. I don't know if I should raise money, right? They might not be happy with me this week. You understand? But I had to say what I had to say. But again, my platform is always open to anybody, even to everybody. I shouldn't even say even everybody. Well, not everybody, because on all due respect, some people it's just too extreme, right? Now, even me letting up some of the bays may make it hot. Y'all already on the federal watch list. Wallahi, y'all already on the federal watch list for trying to scam the government so much. America said we tired of your bullshit. You are on the watch list until further notice. But here's the thing about being on the watch list. They didn't just put the Moor scientific Temple of America on the watch list. They put them on the extreme violent threat watch list. I was like, damn, y'all on another. I'm sure I'm on a watch list, but it's a mild version. It's like COINTELPRO. Like, okay, put them over there with the rest of the pastors. Like, who's that? Who's the pastor out of Philadelphia? Love him, right? Love him. He's on there. What's his name? Not Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson is hilarious, but he's on nobody's watch list. He's just hilarious. But there's another one, with the one that sound like he's been smoking Newports all his life, his whole entire life. He sounds like that, right? He's on there. I don't mind being on there with him, because that's a privilege. But Moors, they got you on a different. When I'm telling y'all don't believe me? I had it up. I took it down. Moors, they got you on a different watch list, beloveds. So y'all gotta knock it off with the riding around with no plates. You gotta knock it off, man. All the commercials about riding around with no driver's license and all that. Y'all hitting the boost button on Instagram and all that. Yo, man, they on to you. 200,000 views on Instagram. Nigga won't get out his car for nothing. Just 5 hours of, but what did I do? What law did I break? I'm traveling though. I'm traveling. Till the cop just get tired and just write this nigga a ticket, man. This definitely fucking snatching his car in the middle of the night anyway. It don't even matter, blood. It don't. He walk off with wild likes and subscribers. He has no car. And 5 minutes later, right? 1 day later, he has no car. Thank you, Copper. That's why I do this. You see this right here? Let me take this down. That is why I do this. I did a whole show dedicated to Koreans. Hold up. Let me. Do I got the picture here? Hold up. I might have the picture here with me and my family. No, that's not it. It's on my other computer. It might be. Yep. I did a whole show in Mount Vernon when I first became, when I started rapping in 2017, I think it was. And it was dedicated to, you know, Kareem Gaines and I don't know why sometimes I just to be about to say Kareem Steffens, and then I realized Kareem Steffens is Superhead, and that would be crazy. Kareem Gaines. Kareem Gaines was riding around in Baltimore with cardboard plates that allegedly said that she was sovereign. Right? She's going off what people was teaching her. Nonetheless, she passed away. And I took that to heart. Because I'm like, damn. That doesn't mean they had to kill her, right? But are we teaching the wrong message? Is this actual factual? I asked somebody, tell me somebody who got their money from this straw man. Now, somebody told me, now I know somebody. He got his money from his straw man, right? I said, where? You know him? Yeah. As soon as he told me where he lived, I was like, yeah, you don't know anybody that. No, he said where he's born. He lives right there in the Bronx. Yo, bro, nobody in the Bronx that you mentioned. I think he said he lives in Highbridge. Bro, nobody in Highbridge has, not one person has gotten their money from their straw man in the Bronx. Because if they did get their money from their straw man in the Bronx, they would not live in Highbridge. She said she used to study with Bambaataa and the other Moors from NY to Chicago. Their meetings never sat right. Maybe because I knew my history. True. Nah. I don't know his name, right? It was somebody I was talking to, and I say, yo, bro, I don't know nobody that ever got their money from this straw man. He's like, nah, I know somebody. I'm like, you know somebody? I knew he was freestyling, but you live in Highbridge splashing? That's crazy. I ain't never, okay. Splash lived in Highbridge. So I was like, where you from? He was like, nah, he was right in the Bronx, Highbridge. What? Yo, bro, nobody in Highbridge got their straw man, bro. Not one of them, bro. Everybody that keep telling me about this straw man, bro, nobody has it. How you keep telling me about this money that I could get if you ain't get the money, bro? Nah, you got to do it right. Yo, bro, they'd never listen to me. This is the United States of America, bro. They are prepared. They got lawyers beyond law. They got time today, cuz they're never more science community. Never, ever giving you guys advantage of the loophole that they gave the original people from Morocco, right? Think niggas ain't seeing through that. Nah, we are Moroccans, bro. We are the original. Yo, knock it off, Lord. Knock it off. Now, everything else y'all could do. Islam, we with that, right? You want to teach some type of esoteric magic, some mystery school magic and all that, / Kabbalah, yo, teach till your brains fall out your ears. But once you start encroaching upon American laws and you want to twist them up and bend them up to fit your propaganda and Vision, nah, it ain't happening. I watch the videos. They get a lot of views. You know what I'm saying? Young man gets pulled over. Young female. That although the last female I seen, she obviously knew what she was doing. So here's what I'm saying to you. It's not that you can't do it. What I say is teach the people. And if you was really going to teach your people, more science community, then you would not charge them so much, especially if they are part of your organization. Now, I can see charging somebody that's not part of the Moor Science Temple of America. But like me, right? First time I asked somebody Morris to do something for me, he tried to hit me over the head crazy. And it was something simple, which really made me start doing these things myself, right? I think he incorporated a company for me. He charged me the same amount, just a little less than the Spanish lady. The first Spanish lady that ever did it for me, that wasn't even her profession. I think she was a realtor or something like that. She charged me $1,800. Now, ignorance is no excuse. That's what she should have did to me. Because if I run into her kids and they want me to start a business for them, I'm definitely charging them $1,800. You understand? So she should have did that to me because I was ignorant, and ignorance is no excuse. Right? I ran into the Moor Science dude. He said, "Oh man, she ripped you off." He only charged me a little bit less. I think he charged me somewhere around $1,000. Keep in mind, it only costs like $200 to even do it all in all. So she did take me for a ride, and he just took me for a shorter ride. Right? So all of these meetings, beloved, teach your people how to be disconnect from the system. If that's what y'all want to do, that's a heavy risk, right? You're going to disconnect from the system, hoping that this works. What if you disconnect from the system and there is no rainbow? There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? There's no straw man account. And then where are they putting the money? In order for you to open up a bank account, you have to bring 2 forms of ID. Why do you think it's layered like that? How are you supposed to get this money that they owe you? Okay, say it's true. How are they supposed to get? Is they supposed to just bring $1 million cash to your doorstep? Where you supposed to cash it? Suppose they did was like, yeah, you good, beloved. This is you. But if you're a citizen again, then you cannot. They changed the laws, right? So back in the days, I would be able to just take my check, give it to my man. I don't got a bank account yet. Put this in your bank account so they can cash it. They cash it. From what I know, they got rid of all of that. So it ain't going down like that no more. Oh. Yeah, that's what they think. I'm like, as y'all think about this whole thing through before y'all just go off. Now, maybe they do know they have a strategy, but teach your people, bro. Get it in line. This is what I'm saying. I say y'all call a national meeting for reconstruction, and y'all have standard operating procedures, and things have to go down a certain way. And the first thing is stop getting online, selling propaganda of separating from America, because they got you on the crazy threat list, beloved. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. They gave your man Mos Def the hardest time getting back in the country, right? Is he even back? I think he's back. I don't know. I seen him this morning on Instagram. I didn't know what was going down. All of a sudden, I was in a Muslim prayer. I said, "Oh, guys are trying to recruit Saladin? No. How do I get out this joint? I don't want to pray today. Today's not even Juma. It's not even Friday. I'm out of this joint." I'm sitting there asking questions. He just breaks out in the prayer. What? This is how you get me here. Snacks, foods, flyers. I'm good. I partake in this prayer. Next thing you know, they got my name at the top of the list. Nah, FBI. I just thought he was going to talk about his new album. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Thought he was going to talk about his new. I did not know he was going to break out into a prayer. Had to break out. You guys are on a crazy list, telling you how to figure it out and get off. You're not going to get off this century. I can tell you that. But if you stop running around insinuating that everybody can get out of tickets the way you're doing, you might get a chance next lifetime. All right, that being said, that's my show. Thank you, everybody. Yo, go enjoy your day. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Freaking 6-hour live is nuts. I haven't done this in such a long time. No one's going to see this on the replay. I would say shout out to all the people on the replay. No one's watching this at the end. But we gave out some hefty information. So that being said, it's Christmas Eve. I don't know who participates or not, but thank you for everybody showing up. Catch you guys on the rebound. Peace out. Salah Dean. You as well, Millie. Happy holidays to everybody. Copper, please reach out to us. Please. All right. Peace out.